Yep, it's on.
All right.
Mhm.
But I will state that this is the January 12th, 2021 library trustee meeting. I will call the meeting to order at 5:36 p.m. I would assume that if somebody was calling in, we would know. Like they would still come up in the participants.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
I
you would
called
get
in, it
notified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
think-
I feel like the roll call thing is crazy too, because if anybody watches this later, they'll see it. They don't hear it. Can you listen to an audio file?
I suppose you could, but
All
We
right.
should probably,
watch it.
We'll still go with the
Yeah.
roll call voting.
why don't we do, that doesn't take very long. It's-
Yeah.
it's-
So, all right. First up is the last month's minutes. Anybody have any questions? Did everybody get them and get to go over them?
Yes.
I did.
Okay, I did too. And I did not have any notes. Anybody have any notes on them?
No.
Nope.
Fantastic. Okay.
It's nice when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. So with no questions and comments on last month's minutes, I will move to accept them as submitted.
Jean Mitchell, I second.
All right, a roll call vote to accept the December meeting minutes as submitted. Lynette Wheeler, the chair. I am in favor of approving them as submitted. Linda Yates,
Yes, I approve.
Jean Mitchell.
Yes, I approve.
Excellent. So we will move on to Bob's director's report.
All right. So I assume everyone got it and has had a chance to look it over. We did have the library FY22 budget meeting on January 6th.
Yes,
Um,
I apologize for not making.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry. I was going to contact you and I noticed you were on the email, so I thought,
Yeah,
and then I just, forgot to, I would have given you a heads up, but I just didn't, so I'm sorry.
no, it was totally on me. I fully intended on going, and I ended up at my mother's. We found out my grandmother has cancer.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
sorry.
That was the day we found out. So I was
Oh.
with my mom consoling her.
Yeah, that was also the day that the world went a little
Crazy?
crazy in DC as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, my good Lord.
Oh, that was the
Nelson.
6th. Yeah.
same
Yeah.
day, yeah.
Yep.
But in any case, so I met with the FinCom and discussed the FY22 budget. Since we were level funded, there wasn't too much to go over in terms of trying to justify increases or what have you. We did have a new member to the financial committee. So I always try to go over, how the library budget is prepared. Like our starting point is making sure that we get the proper appropriation from the town and that we stay certified. So there were a few questions about the revolving account. That's an account where we collect library fines and payment for books that are lost. So some explanation of what that account is and how it's used. So we have a little over $2,000 in the account now, and we can spend up to $1,000 a year. But there are some new rules about what you can spend the money on.
Yeah, I
So-
was just shoveling my way through that today.
Yeah. So June had a few questions, and I think it was in the email when I first sent the budget.
Yes.
And so I talked about that. And June actually joined the meeting at some point.
Okay.
So I was conferring with her. Am I explaining this correctly, June? And we were in agreement about what the fund was created for and what we can use the money for. But we have to have a place, we also have an account for donations, so people make donations, monetary donations to the library. But we have to have an account for these things. The money is it's the town's money. Most towns do have a revolving account for their library for this monies, so.
Yeah, I've dealt with them a lot with the public schools, being a teacher for the last 20 years. I
Yeah.
know all about revolving accounts.
Revolving accounts, so, yeah, they're not uncommon, but they do sometimes, the state auditors, look at this stuff and they do change the rules. I don't normally use much from the revolving account. A few times it has come in handy when we reach the end of a fiscal year and there's a bill that, and the invoice came afterwards.
Right.
And so in order to pay that bill without going through all the machinations you would have to go through, I can just pay it from our additional funds. So, that has happened a few times.
Okay.
Last year, everything was thrown askew with COVID and being closed for 3 months and having a spending freeze. So, segueing into like the annual report that has to get done in the next few weeks. Normally, if you look at the past annual reports, you can get a picture of what, they like you to just keep it to one page. And usually we mention the finances, what the town was appropriated. We mention things about circulation, who the library staff currently are, all of those types of things. So I guess it will fall on Lynette to put it together. So maybe we should confer about the information you need.
Okay.
You can look at the past ones, Lynette, to see, how they were done.
Are those posted somewhere? Or
Uh,
you have them?
Well, the most recent ones may not be. We have all of the older ones on our website.
I have last year's.
I think
I
I might
have
have.
them, I have copies of the last like 10 or 20 years
Yeah.
here in the library. So if you want to pick up last year's, or why don't I just, I'll just scan it and send it to you.
Okay.
All
That
right,
works.
so that'll be the easiest thing. And then I will send you further information about when the library was closed. I think
Okay.
you probably want to mention, and then the fact that we opened for curbside and et cetera. And let's see, so we are going to get new PCs soon. I've
So
been
we
going-
keep saying.
Yeah.
know.
Well, the company that
cut
the
and paste.
town contracts with, CM Geeks, they've had some issues with, first of all, their business, they've gotten very busy because of, so everyone is doing remote
Yeah.
things. And so that's taken a lot of their time, and they've had in their office some COVID cases.
Okay.
So then they have to go in quarantine, and so it's hard for them to get out in the fields. They are scheduled to come, I think I have it here on the 28th,
January 28th.
Yeah.
but that could change. And they're only sending one person. They don't want to have, so
Right.
we'll try and schedule it around, maybe the best thing would be if they did it on a Friday when we're closed, and they would have a little more free reign. And
Right.
so, you're always a little nervous when they come in and they're basically going to, wipe everything out and start over again.
Right.
So I'm trying to think of everything that I need to save that's on this PC as well. So, but anyway, it's a work in progress. So we should get new PCs soon. Yeah, that is kind of critical because we're
that
still running the Windows
replacing-
7, and that's going to, eventually be a problem. So
So the 5 computers that replaces yours, the circulation, children's, Karen's, and what would?
yeah, and the one of the patron access.
Okay.
Yeah. And when he may do them on 2 separate occasions, so he may come and do the front. The circulation is the most important,
Right.
and then mine is the other oldest one.
Okay.
Karen's was replaced, but it's not new by any means. It's, another hand-me-down, but it's
Right.
newer than some of the others. And so we're want to continue to make progress on getting those in here. The septic replacements, I guess in this bidding process, they are not requiring the bidders to come for on-site visit. I
Okay.
didn't know that. And we had a company show up one day and just start going around the site outside. So I went out and spoke with them. And I told them that, they should get in touch with Margaret and possibly with Evan, since he did the plan. So they were definitely planning on bidding. They came back again today. They asked if they could look at the electrical box. So I did show them that. And
Now, is the sinkhole gonna start to cause problems? I know you had mentioned
Yeah.
before about a
Yeah.
sinkhole.
I don't think so. Probably at some point they should fill them in.
Yeah, that'd be a really swell idea.
I haven't noticed that they've gotten any larger. For a
Okay,
while, it looked a little scary.
And there's,
Yeah.
Every time I looked out the window, the hole was getting big.
there's still just the two, right?
There's 3 of them, but they
There's
did put. I think there's 3. They put cones in them
Okay.
so that someone wouldn't be running along and fall into a hole.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we, I mean, is that something that needs to
They're a-
happen?
Yeah, they're aware, and just
Okay.
in general, the highway department is, our de facto facilities people, and they'll come over here, and they'll do the leaves, and they'll cut the grass, and so, that hopefully by the spring when we're using it more,
Yeah, they'll get
they
it
will
filled
take-
in.
they'll get it filled in. Yeah,
Little crushed stone and some dirt will be good.
yeah. I think they could take. Right now, it doesn't look too bad. They could probably take care of it pretty quickly. So I don't think it's a major problem. So they did have 11 bids so far.
Yay.
So that's good. So hopefully we'll get some good ones and we can get this project done and done. The Library Friends Group, they had a very successful holiday sale and they raised over $500.
Ooh,
So that
way
was
to go, friends.
way to go, friends.
Real quick, with
Yeah.
the septic,
Yeah.
it says the bid deadline is January 28th.
Yes, 29th, 28th or 29th, yeah.
Yeah.
28th,
This is 28th.
yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
Okay. So from that it's up to Margaret to pick.
Uh,
Will there be another meeting after?
I think that she
all the
reviews
things-
them with the select board.
Okay.
And I think at the end of the day, it's the select board's call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the low bid is not always the best choice.
That's
Right.
right, yeah. So Margaret
That's
will
what I'm
look at
afraid
them,
of.
and she'll make a recommendation.
Okay.
Now
Last time,
Margaret's, I'm
The
sorry,
town
Margaret's the
administrator.
town,
town
oh, sorry, the
administrator.
administrator. I keep forgetting that word administrator. I want to say town manager. Okay.
Yeah,
town
I
administrator.
think they're kind of semantics there. It's interchangeable, but
Yeah, I just have trouble with that word for some reason.
in Berlin, they call them administrator.
Mhm.
TA, the TA.
Okay, so she reviews and,
Yeah, she is the one who put the job out to bid.
okay,
And reviews them,
with the select
and-
board.
and then go over her recommendations with the select board and why she thinks, whatever one that she thinks is the best one.
Okay,
And yeah, so they'll make a decision at a select board meeting.
okay. And then they'll let us know, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. And when do you think she'd be making her recommendations?
Well, the deadline is the 28th.
Probably beginning of February, like first week
I
of
would say,
February, maybe.
yeah, I would say,
Okay, I'm just curious.
yeah.
Okay, Thank you.
I guess it just depends how many good ones she gets.
Yeah,
Because if it's a
Yeah.
close call, then it's harder decision and a lot
Yeah.
more follow-up. But if they're all terrible, well,
Yeah.
the last round, unfortunately, that's
Yeah.
the way it worked out. So
didn't work out. Yeah.
it
We
did
have
not work
double the
out.
bids this time.
Yeah.
I think last time, wasn't there only 6?
Yeah, there
Well,
wasn't very many.
I chatted for quite a while with the people that were here today, and they're definitely serious bidders, and they took it upon themselves to have a site visit, and they wanted to make a good bid. I think it's important to see the site. I don't know how you can do it
Yeah,
without seeing the site.
Yeah.
I would think so, especially
I
if,
would give them a few points just based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and are they all bidding on the butterfly system?
Yes, yes,
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
so that part's been decided.
yes.
So I would think that given just that, they'd want to see the site.
I was just in talking with them. I mentioned the tight tank, and they were thinking, yeah, tight. I know I'm just not letting go.
Yeah, no, I hold on to that.
I hold on to that too. But anyway, uh, so the process is moving, and that's all good. Um, I forwarded a few emails to you, one of which was about the library state aid, program, and how the changes that they made specifically to the library's open hours and also to the materials expenditure, how much of our appropriation is spent on materials. So they've made some concessions to that again, because they realize that COVID is affecting town budgets and
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, so that's a bit of a relief. The way they worded it in the email is yes, we still want you to spend your money's on materials, but if you don't hit the percentage, we won't penalize you this year.
Yeah, Senator Tran did a really good job. I saw his office release what he was able to get for aid and bonds this year, and I was surprised.
I think
Berlin was
I
on the
think
list.
yeah,
Thank
we
God.
thought it could have been a lot worse, the funding for these programs for libraries. And so it turned out to be okay.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. We still haven't heard about our certification for FY 20. So by the end of this month, hopefully we'll know. And, I assume everything is good, but you just don't know for sure until they send you that letter that says it is, that you're certified. So still waiting on that, but you'll be the first to hear.
This is
Yeah.
for 2021,
This
the
is for,
certification?
yes, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Mhm.
No, I'm sorry. I'm getting my
22.
years. I'm getting my years.
It's for
messed up.
next year, right?
It's
Because
for
we're
next-
already in 21. Okay, just
Well-
wanted to put that in the minutes.
Well, no, it's for
It's for,
the last fiscal year. So
oh, for
which would
20,
be- which would have been
2020.
FY 21.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's very confusing.
I'm very confused. Okay.
Let me check that and confirm with you. But yeah, it's for so you're
Okay.
certified going into the next year, which would be FY 21, but it's on this past current, FY 20, which finished.
Right. But if you're talking about the certification, it is for FY going forward, right?
Yes, going forward. So you're right. It is FY 22.
Yes.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're
I'm
already in
sorry.
22. Okay, that's okay.
I'm confusing myself here.
Because you get
Yeah.
certified
Sorry.
the year prior.
Right.
I was about to go and look where I put the certification on the wall in the vestibule to to see the last year and say, there it is.
There it is.
All right, sorry
Okay.
about that. Yeah.
That's okay. No worries.
Other things at the library, we're doing the STEM program again, virtual. Sarah has really been juggling her time, trying to be creative, trying to take care of performers that got cultural council grants from last year, who, some were able to do their programs, some were not. And we were talking, about our summer reading this coming summer and how we're going to, handle that. So it's just difficult to plan anything. The cultural council wants to know, they're just going on like there is no plague going on, no pandemic. They're saying they're sticking to all the same dates and their need for information. And it's just hard for people to plan everything unless they do it as Zoom.
Yeah.
But we want to do as many live programs as we can if we have to do them outside. So the planning is kind of a nightmare right now. So
What
I
if
feel
we
bad.
did like a hybrid thing where people could go and watch it outdoors, but also tape it to play or stream
Yeah.
it live,
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
so more people can actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am tentatively planning to do a few programs jointly with other local libraries. And so we would all share in the expense of, say, a Zoom call, all of our patrons. Just a way to save money and reach more people.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I think that's about it, unless you have questions.
It'd be really neat if we could do a program sometime with the old radio shows. I remember being like in middle school and the teacher would play like The Shadow, or
Oh,
one
yeah.
time she played War of the Worlds and stuff.
We
And it was
have
just,
we have a couple of DVDs that are old radio shows.
yeah, because it's
And,
so
they're-
neat when you can
yeah.
just sit there and listen,
Yeah.
and just let your
Well,
imagination.
When I remember when I bought them for the collection, I was thinking, I wonder if anyone is really very interested in these, and they are. They circulate quite a lot.
Yeah, they're really cool, especially if you got like young kids and stuff, because they can sit and listen to it. And like the
Right.
Hardy Boys or The Shadow is pretty good.
I think the thing is, Gene, is that you can go on YouTube and you can find just
Yeah.
about any of this
Yeah.
stuff now
Through that.
if you're really that interested. But it would be good. The library could introduce them to it, and then they can find as much as they want on their own.
Yeah, kind of like, before everyone had television, we also had radio, because a lot of people, kind of forget about that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Plus, I just moved a gigantic one from 1938 up out of the basement. So,
Oh, wow, wow. I still remember what they looked like when I was a kid.
very heavy. Those tubes are very heavy.
Yeah,
Wow.
we had that vinyl, that's 78 RPM.
Yep.
Yeah, super thick plastic vinyl. Oh, well. Starting to feel like a dinosaur now.
Yeah, I could say I don't remember listening to those shows myself,
Yeah,
but my dad talks about them.
yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
We
The
didn't even
kids in the
have,
class liked it.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to listen to.
we didn't have a television, so radio was everything. Radio
Yep.
and vinyl records, but eventually we got a television. But even then there was nothing on, so
Yeah.
you had a couple of kid shows in the morning. In the
Yeah.
afternoon, maybe a soap opera or something, nothing that
Yeah,
interested
that's
you.
what I remember. Three
Yeah.
channels, three
Yeah,
channels.
all
Yeah,
black
3
and white.
channels. And the
ABC,
rab-
CBS, and NBC.
Yeah.
That was it.
Had the rabbit ears and.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Okay, you should. I think
I hate
you're
to
about
say
my
it.
age, so yeah.
Hate to say it,
Uh,
but anyway.
Okay,
Our first VCR, the remote for it had a cord.
a cord.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember
Oh.
that.
And you hit the button, the thing would pop up, and then you'd put the tape in and then push
Yeah.
it into the machine. But it
Mhm.
had a remote that was on a cord.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I could use that because our remote's always
Well,
missing.
you'd always know where it is. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
you move it. It's
there's
on a
something
cord.
good about that. I
Yeah.
have to say, sounding like an old person, but 3 channels really wasn't that bad. They
No,
had good shows on. I mean, it's like now we have like 4,000 and we never watch any of them.
Freedom
No.
I felt, I just canceled. I had DirecTV. I just canceled it, and I can't tell you the freedom I feel. The weight
Yeah.
has been lifted. We have Netflix and Hulu, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
by
all
the
you
time
need.
you figure out what you want to watch, it's like
I'm
the
done.
whole evening shot.
I was like, it was getting ridiculous. It's $180 a month. The kids
Oh, yeah.
only watch Netflix anyways.
Yep.
So we added Hulu so that we could watch the shows like that me and my husband watch.
I have to say, I've noticed a lot of people in Berlin, maybe elsewhere too, that don't have cable. So they borrow
Mm.
tons of DVDs.
Hmm.
They're the people that are most heavy borrowers because, if you have Netflix, then, you can get just about any movie that you'd like to get.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will say though,
uh,
Netflix has
is-
kind of started to decline on that. They used to have
Yeah.
much more movies available, and now they have
They're
them
trying to make their
for
own
short
movies
periods
now.
of time, and then they have a different set.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
So, any
Right.
more questions or comments on the director's report?
No.
Nope.
All right. I move to approve the director's report as submitted.
Linda Yates, second.
Excellent. We'll take a roll call vote to approve the director's report as submitted. I, Lynette Wheeler, approve it. Linda Yates,
Approve.
Jane Mitchell.
Approve.
All right, approved unanimously to accept as submitted. We'll move on to the financial report, which I'm sure everybody went over.
Yep.
Yes. So over the holidays, I didn't do much buying. So therefore, we really didn't have a lot of bills to pay. I'm going to be making up for that shortly. I just did a warrant today. So I did some electronic book buying
Okay.
and also renewed our periodicals. And we did another few fairly large book purchases. So
Do
we'll
we
get
have
back on track with the
audiobooks?
spending. December is usually kind of a slowish month.
Bob, do we have audiobooks
We do.
available? Okay.
We do.
good.
I work with a company called Blackstone, and what I've been buying more in audiobooks is the MP3.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get a book that could be 10 or 12 or 20 disc, and it's on 1 or 2.
Yep.
So therefore, they're cheaper. They take up less space on the shelf. It was
Oh,
kind of a no-brainer. I remember when I first started here, I wondered why everyone didn't just switch right over to MP3. But the publishers kind of play a little game with that, and they don't release always, the top titles in MP3 right away.
Right.
Yep.
So,
That's like waiting for
because they want
the book to
more
be.
money and have more CDs. But from a library standpoint, people lose the CDs or they get damaged.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to replace one, than one of 12.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've been buying almost exclusively the MP3s for the last.
Yeah, I was just thinking because I have dyslexia, and I know when I was going to school, especially college, having audiobooks was a godsend.
Yeah.
So
We have some people, some youth who will get both the audio and the book. So
Yep.
My daughter's one of them.
yeah,
But I
we've
think
had
that's
that
an awesome
request.
idea.
We get that request from time
It's
to
good
time. Yeah.
to
And if we get a request for an audio for that reason, we just go out and find it and buy it.
Yep.
yeah.
And a lot of our collection development is driven by just people requesting things.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
If one person requests it, it's, unless it's very,
Yeah.
just very, very hard to find or just something that we know won't be really used.
so I have ADD. I have a daughter that's ADHD, and another one who is self-diagnosing herself with ADD because she has a hard time focusing now. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, we can see a doctor about that. Anyway, she's one that needs the audio and the book because she'll be reading and then her thoughts drift and she's not on it anymore. So
Yeah.
just in case someone comes in, Bob, that has a kid that's having a hard time concentrating on books, that might be something you can suggest, is to get the audio to go with it.
Sure.
And I know a lot of them, you can get a lot of audio on, what's it called? The app.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can-
they got audio. That's the
What
book
is it?
app, audio book app.
Yeah, and
Oh, the
on Overdrive, you can
Overdrive. That's it.
Yeah, Overdrive, the same
That's what we
platform
can
that
do.
has ebooks, you can also get the audios, and audios are very popular.
Yeah, we would do that
Overdrive.
over summer because it
Yeah.
was so hard, like, to
Yeah.
find the summer reading books because that's what
Right.
everybody does. They
Yeah.
go to the library because,
Yeah.
they don't want to. Everybody doesn't want to go out and buy it.
Yep.
So we've done that.
Some
where
of the
we'll-
greatest, we can look at what our patrons are demanding. And, some of the heaviest borrowing, some of the heaviest in-demand items are audiobooks, yeah. So, yeah, I really don't have too much to report on the financials. I think I did a couple of warrants, but there wasn't a lot of spending. And we'll have to see where the septic comes in.
Okay.
We have $99,000 to pay for it. So if I'm thinking that it won't come in anywhere close to that. We did discuss at the budget meeting, we did discuss, our capital items that are outstanding still and why we are trying to hold on to some of this money for general repairs, for example, for the library design. So we'll see how long they allow us to keep that money. They usually like to, if you're going to do a capital thing, they like you to do it in a year or two, but it's
Yeah.
not always possible. So.
Okay.
If we need to do any extensions on anything, I had volunteered to work with Margaret on that before, so just let me know, and
Okay.
I don't mind working with her to type up whatever to
I
carry
see that.
funds.
Yeah,
over.
the septic was the only one, I believe, that had the sunshine clause on it.
Yeah,
The others do not, so it's just a
Right.
matter of justifying why we need to keep that monies
Yep.
available.
Does anybody have any questions, comments for the financial report?
No, thank you.
All right, I move to accept the financial report as submitted.
Jean Mitchell, I second.
All right, a roll call vote to accept the financial report as submitted. Lynette Wheeler, I approve. Linda Yates,
I approve.
Jean Mitchell.
I approve.
All right, approved unanimously to accept the director's report as submitted.
Finance report.
Finance report,
Sorry.
financial report. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm looking down at the agenda to see what's next, and I said what I was reading. So into old business, we kind of got a little septic update in the director's report. I don't think there's really much more to update aside from the fact that we have people bidding. Unless you have something else to add, Bob.
I don't.
Okay. It wasn't written down for old business. I should have just wrote it while I was thinking about it though. Oh, I lost it. It was something I was going to bring up and I meant to make a note of it and I just lost what it was.
or old business?
Oh, nope, I remembered. Look at that.
Okay.
The survey, do we have any more information about the survey? The LRP, that's it.
Long range plan survey?
Like, I know we did the survey and Karen was putting stuff together.
Yeah.
and
Well,
doing-
we have the results of the survey. We use the Survey Monkey, and they're on the website.
Okay.
So if you go to planning documents, you'll find it there.
Oh.
I think there's actually even a separate link for it still.
Yeah, is there going to be another long range plan meeting
No.
regarding the survey or no?
I wasn't planning one.
Okay.
The only thing I haven't done is actually submit the plan to the MBLC,
Okay.
but I have all of the information. It's pretty much done. I just haven't submitted it to them yet.
Who are
Yeah.
you submitting it to, Bob? Who?
The Mass Board of Library Commissioners.
MBLC.
So, yeah. So this is the 5-year plan.
Yeah.
It's not 100% required that you do it.
Right.
It's just recommended, and it's also, well, it's kind of highly recommended if you want to be eligible for a construction grant or renovation
Right.
grant, which we
So-
hope to be. Yeah. If they have some money, when the state gets some money back into that program.
Right. So we kind of just waiting now because of COVID
Yeah.
in terms
Since
of
I did, this is my second long range plan since I've been here,
right.
going on 8 years. So, I feel a lot more informed than I did for the first one.
Right.
So the information gathering, I think, it went a lot better. We reach more people. And so I feel like I know what their needs are. And I'm just trying to make sure I identify everything when I submit the plan. And we have realistic, goals. We've had the same goals for a long, long time, basically,
Right.
to make improvements. So, we're taking little steps, moving at a glacial pace, but sometimes that's how it goes.
Right. That's what I figured with.
We have a lot of obstacles, just like other towns. And, COVID certainly, kind of stopped us a little bit there in our tracks. So right now, our main thing is just to try to keep the place going and get back up to speed. Keep circulation going, let people know. We still have patrons who think, since the library's building is closed, they weren't patrons who were accustomed to just requesting stuff. They would just come to the library and come in and, we would help them. And some of those patrons are starting to come back because they realize, oh yeah, other people are getting library materials. So how come, what am I waiting for, And, but it sometimes takes a while for that information to kind of seep in because they're so ingrained the way they've done things all their life. So
Are we planning or considering planning to try to make the building more accessible? Or
that's the goal with the, things we identified in the long range plan
right.
would be, the only way we can make the bathrooms accessible is to renovate the building. And in order to make them accessible and renovate the building and still have room for the staff to even sit down, we're going to have to bump the building out. We're going to
Right.
have to make it a little larger. And all of this seemed acceptable to the Mass DEP. We're trying to get over the obstacles with our water and septic, and
Right.
we're limited. It comes down to a numbers game. So they figure if you make the library larger, you're going to get more people. But we're not necessarily trying to get more people in the building. We're just trying to make it accessible for those who maybe wouldn't come in the building if they
Right.
couldn't maneuver their way around. And, the renovation plan would also call for a lift because you have to have
Right.
an elevator. But we have a lot of constraints, so it's very, very hard to, we have a concept design to do a plan. So, these things can get done, but
Did that design have an elevator or a lift? Because there's a big difference in terms of.
Yeah, it's an elevator. It's an elevator, yeah. You have to have one, so. There's no
well,
getting
like,
around it.
the way 19 Carter did it with the lift is, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah,
much less money and less
I don't
space.
want to misspeak on that because I'm not 100% sure. But
Okay.
I think it is an elevator is required, so.
It might be a requirement that's different than what 19 Carter would have. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they don't have any of the constraints that we have. I'll tell you that now. They just,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's, even
because
though
they're a private, they're a
they're treated
not-for-profit.
just as if they were someone's home as
Mm.
opposed to
Right.
being a center where the public come in. But
Mm.
that's a whole nother,
Now
issue.
the plan that you guys kind of had for the expansion, will that
Mhm.
change after we do the septic? Does the septic
Uh,
cause any
well,
problems for
the
that?
plan is really just a concept. So it's not like an architectural drawing.
Right.
So there are just ideas. These are things that could be done.
Okay.
Now, the septic, some of the money they're spending, to do the new electrical and everything, you would assume that could be integrated into this renovation project. But again, the tight tank, hate to keep bringing up the tight tank, but the tight tank
it's
would have
good.
been a short-term kind of, way to deal with having a current septic. I mean, even the DEP was okay with it, and they don't usually even weigh in with on that. They're
Right.
concerned with wells, so.
I
I
really
don't know.
thought that was the way we were headed.
Guys, this is all stuff that I've been just going over ever since I've been here, and I feel like we have made some progress.
Yeah.
Just have to see where we land when we get these water issues done, and then try to move forward to either renovate the building or go for a new building. But there just doesn't seem to be the will for that new building. So, and this isn't a very good location to try and build a new building.
Right.
So, if we renovate and then that lasts for another extended decades, and then we'll then see what the future holds. Probably I won't be here. Most likely.
Bob's like, I'll be on a
But-
beach in Cozumel.
Yeah. Oh, well, hopefully I'll be somewhere. But I really just want to make sure that we do our job to keep moving things forward. That's what I'm here for. I can't tell you what the end of the game is, end of the thing is, but
All right. I don't think does anybody have any new business? Anything that wasn't on the agenda?
No,
Nope.
The trustee concerns.
I mean, I know it's like right now, just because of the nightmare in the press and everything, but having social media accessible on the library computers, I mean, it's kind of tough, it's something that patrons really don't need because it's a social app,
right.
so I mean,
We
whether
do
or
have
not,
a internet policy for the library. So when patrons access the computer and they go to open the internet, the first thing that comes up is the policy. So we kind of rigged it that way, so that we're trying to get people to, at least peruse it.
yeah, I
We
mean, I know,
don't have any blocking. Some libraries do have some
yeah,
of their access,
The
machine.
school has that, like you couldn't,
Yeah.
you could type in the Facebook web address or Twitter or Instagram, but it just wouldn't go. It was
Yeah.
blocked out.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah, people do use social media here. So, adults.
I'm just thinking where they're removing liability and stuff. It's a whole new
Right.
area to get in trouble for something someone else did. So we have to
Yeah.
kind of,
I think we
Yeah,
have,
there are rules about that. Now, we get our internet access now through Public Library Hotspot, through the CW Mars network. And the patrons have to agree to this, they have to agree not to follow the rules. Terms of,
terms of service. Yeah.
terms of service. Yes, please. Thank you. So if they are trying to download copyrighted material, for example,
hmm
then potentially your library could be liable for that. But they have to agree that they won't do that. So that's
And
a
they
safety
do
measure.
that, and they do
You
that
know,
every time they
yes,
log
they
into
do.
the, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
So
so when someone logs in, when they agree to that, do they have to use their name or anything, or is it just a check this
No.
box, I agree?
no,
But I mean, we're a small enough library, I think that who comes in and uses
yeah,
the internet. If
Do
we
you have
were,
a log? Do you have a
I was
log
gonna
of
say, if
We
we're
the
do,
really
yeah.
names
that
of
concerned, we could have
people and
a log.
what
We do have
time
a
they're
log,
on?
yeah.
And
People-
it says they
people
went
don't
on at
always-
noon time and they went off at 1 o'clock or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
We do have a log, yeah.
just in case, so we have something that covers us, because it's just everybody and their
Yeah, it's
cousin
a good-
is so
No,
crazy.
it's a good point, yeah.
Yep.
That's a good point. It's, ever since the internet was available in libraries, it's been a constant
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
issue.
I think we have,
We don't have a patron access in the children's room at all. So, but young people do use the the patron access machines upstairs.
Yeah.
We haven't had any issue keeping my fingers crossed. So,
Trust me, they move very slow. I had a student make
Yeah.
a threat and we didn't see that computer again for 8 or 9 months.
okay, yeah. No, I definitely know it can happen. Hmm. If you want to take a look at our internet policy, if you have any suggestions on how it might be better, that will be fine.
Yeah.
It's on our website under policies.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to make sure that, we maintain as little liability as possible.
yeah. Yeah, well, at the moment, no one's in here using them, so,
right.
but it's a good
Hopefully
point.
by then it'll all calm down.
Yeah. It's always a potentially, and there's new platforms all the time, so.
Yep.
I actually have access to all these platforms, even though I don't use them, like Twitter.
Yeah.
I never tweeted anything, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to know enough about them. So if patrons are asking me about
Yep.
them, that I can try to answer their questions or just be knowledgeable. But I don't have any reason to use it. I am on Facebook and Instagram, but I don't use them that much.
Yeah.
Facebook, I guess I use a fair amount, probably as much as the average person. But, yeah.
I'm not on Facebook.
No. No,
It's evil. It's evil.
I know.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Evil.
for
It's
selling
about
pigs
it's
and
50-50
produce, I
with
wouldn't
me.
be.
It's 50% evil and 50% good. So I have I had a former life in running in track and field, and so I've connected with a lot of people I used to know from
Mhm.
athletics, and so that's been good. But yeah, there's other stuff. I have friends that I don't agree with their views, and they're very so. I just
Yeah.
block them.
Yeah,
Takes
I've
all
blocked-
kinds.
I've blocked a few people. I just,
Yep.
yeah. If it's gets to be too much, yeah.
Yep.
They can block me anytime. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I try to post as many cows wearing flowers or baby goats or
Yeah. Well, that's what
keep
it's
it
for,
light.
isn't it?
Keep it light.
Yeah.
That's really what it's for.
Exactly.
Your cat
Yep.
videos.
Right. I do not have anything else.
Me either.
All right.
All right, so
And we kept it to an hour again. That's pretty good.
I know. I was nervous because, there's another meeting that comes on. And last time at this time, they were trying to open the room already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we're good.
Yes. They should give you at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, we do. We have it. So the
Oh,
next
okay.
meeting isn't until 7:30, but she asks that we're done by 7 so that they can open the meeting room at 7:15 to
Oh,
give people time to sign into the next meeting.
they're jumping the gun.
But tonight we've been good. Nobody's trying to kick us out yet. Let's see. When is the next meeting? So our next meeting will be February 9th, as long as no one has any conflicts.
Good.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we will see you guys all February 9th, and I will move to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Jean
Aye.
Mitchell, I'll second.
All right, a roll call vote to adjourn. Lynette Wheeler, approve adjournment. Linda Yates,
Approve.
Jean Mitchell.
I approve.
All right, I am adjourning this meeting at 6:28 p.m.
Great. Thank you,
Very
everyone.
good. Thank you. Have a good
All
month.
right. Have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Stay well.